welcome to 20's Plenty, episode 6. We are joined by Dan Lyons this week, our guest. Welcome onto the show, Dan.
Evening, boys. How are you doing?
And also joined by co-host, as always, Joe Paul. Welcome. Right, let's get started then. On to our topic for this week. Good discussion, actually, as Jamie Carragher, I think, said after one of the games this week of who his player of the year is. So that goes on to the topic of who our player of the year is. We're going to go via goalkeeper, defender, midfielder and striker. So, Dan, talk us through your player of the year goalkeeper.
I think there's a few candidates that stand out, and you've got obviously your Alisson, your Edisons. There's a name I'd like to mention that probably not most people would put on the slate sheet would be Nick Pope for Burnley. Yeah. If you look at their stats, they're top of the clean sheet stats, I think, or might be tied now actually. So they're a very serious side, does some serious work defensively, and is a world-class keeper in my opinion. Tricky one really. I think Edison for me is my favourite keeper this season. His offloading stats.
Edison, really?
His offloading stats are just unbelievable, mate.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously a good player.
I don't know. Sure, Edison. I know he's a good keeper, but I don't think any Man City player bar Kevin De Bruyne, warrants to be in this conversation today. In all honesty, I just don't think they've been good enough for their standards, especially losing to Southampton. I think, like we said last podcast, this is the most game Pep's ever lost in a season, and I don't think they've been up for it.
Yeah. If you look at they're missing Laporte, mate. They're missing Laporte, and their defence has not been right all season. It hasn't been right for 2 seasons now.
Yeah, but I think they can only blame yourself for the Laporte injury because you ain't gone and replaced the company.
Yeah, I understand that.
Keeper for me, which similar to Nick Pope, I think is going to notice is Dean Henderson.
Yeah,
I think only
good
one.
He's had a few mistakes in him recently, but yeah, very good player.
Yeah, I think he looks settled though. He looks confident. Only young. I think Man United are definitely going to look for him to be the higher long-term replacement in my eyes.
I've gone Dean Henderson as well. I think you can't unnotice how well Sheffield United been defensively to get them where they are at the minute. So I'm on Dean Henderson. I think he's probably England's number one as well now. He's come in at a very good time ahead of the Euros next year. He'll be England's number one in my opinion. But what a season that he's had! And
what season they've had? What that season they've had?
Yeah, they've been fantastic.
Yeah, they've had a quality season.
Right. What?
CD, do you want to kick us off?
Who's Sealy, did you say?
Yeah, either or, CD.
Go on, Dan. Go on. I want to hear yours
first.
first.
Class any Liverpool defender in it. Like all 4 of them have been world class. Virgil van Dijk for me is just absolutely uses class. He is the
different gravy, isn't he?
I mean, for me, it's just hands down. A few other players. I mean, Trent's been very good again this year, hasn't he? Exceptional, actually. Who else?
Dins, where do you rank Virgil van Dijk in all-time Premier League defenders?
I think anyone that's all-time, you've got to give a few more seasons than he's had at that top level. I mean, he played at Southampton for a while, did a good job, but I think you compare him to someone like Vidic, he's just had way too many more seasons at that top level. Give him a couple more seasons.
Would you not put him in the Rio, John Terry, Vincent Kompany conversation?
Essentially, he's up there, but give him a couple more seasons, mate, and you'll be able to have that discussion, no problems, wouldn't you?
Yeah, fair point. CD, defender of the season?
Yeah, I've gone Van Dijk. He's a Rolls Royce, isn't he, Van Dijk? Every time you watch Van Dijk play, I don't know if you noticed, no one skips past him. I mean, he had that stat, was it that season, where no one beat him in a one-on-one? Up until, I can't remember who beat him in a one-on-one, but someone did.
I think Richarlison was the only man, wasn't he, last season?
Yeah.
Didn't he say something to him before the game?
Yeah.
But he's just, I think, when you play against Liverpool, you try and play off the other centre-half, Gomez. But I think Gomez is playing well. Like you said, Robertson, Trent, it had to be a Liverpool defender for me. So I've gone Van Dijk. And like you said, I think Dan's spot on. I think in a couple of more years, I think he will be in that conversation. Even Kompany, Vidic, your Terrys, your Ferdinands. A couple of more years, I think he's definitely in that conversation. But for me, Van Dijk.
No, that's a good shout. I've gone for a bit more of a rogue shout. I've gone for Ricardo Pereira from Leicester, the right back.
Yeah, very tight.
Pereira, yeah.
I thought it was but every time I've watched him this year, he's very, very lively going forward and going backwards. Definitely see him going to one of the giant clubs in Europe at some point in his career.
I think so.
Whether that be a Real Madrid, a Juventus, a Bayern Munich, someone like that.
Good ball player, isn't he?
Over there. And I feel like right backs are such a important role these days in football, and I think you could get him for a real steal. Like, honestly don't think anything. You could get him for 40 million, I reckon, and I actually think that's a steal for him. I'm not sure of his age. I might have just a quick Google now while we're on. Ricardo Pereira age. 26.
Number 26.
26.
Oh, 26. I think he's had a good season, so I'll allow that, but I don't think he'll be in it.
Yeah, and once again, you've got like the Burnley with the clean sheets again for me. Tarkowski and me have done bits, very good players, and I think they're definitely. You look at what Van Dijk was a few seasons ago. I mean, he was a good player at Southampton, and he kicked on so far. Like one of those two. I think if I was City or someone as a second centre back, one of those wouldn't be the worst of shouts.
Yeah, that Tarkowski's definitely been a good replacement since. Who left Burnley at the back? I can't remember. But he came in for someone. He was another class defender. Midfielders. Dins, I can guess who you're going to go for midfielder of the year.
Yeah, it's not Grealish. It's Kevin De Bruyne. Just once again, absolutely world class. I mean, you look at him on the main stage with all the big teams around him, he still shines. Like you look at it last week against Liverpool, he was the man again, wasn't he? It's just, I don't think I've ever seen a player in my lifetime when he's got the ball and you just know he's going to pick that pass that you can't even see yourself on the TV. And that really is a special talent that not many players have got.
Yeah, he's. I feel like this season's really cemented him as like. I know everyone thought he was good, like last year. I feel like this year everyone's just been like, this guy's a joke. Like this guy's an actual joke. I mean, he just gives a perfect balance to any midfield, really, because he can do everything. Like, I know everyone picks him out for his passing, but you watch him, his pressing game, his organisation skills are just as good. I know looks up to him, like always speaks about him as like people miss out on the dirty work he does because of how good he is at the passing. But you struggle to see a better midfielder come for him in the next sort of 10 years, don't you, really?
Definitely.
Yeah, I've gone Kevin De Bruyne. He's, I think he's created 100 plus chances.
Really?
And the next one below is that's Grealish, most chances created. So, but Kevin De Bruyne is in the world of his own. I mean, look what happened when he didn't play against Southampton. I mean, he came on for the last 25 minutes, but making a difference for 25 minutes compared to 90 minutes, completely different. But he was effortless against Liverpool, and he's done it all year round. In my overall player of the year, he's probably it for me. And look how poor City have been this year compared to the year before, and that says a lot. I reckon so. Yeah, I think he's been absolutely exceptional.
Yeah.
I've gone for a different one for midfielder player. Yeah, De Bruyne. De Bruyne is definitely the best midfielder in the Premier League, and I do agree with that. But the person I've got out a bit of a standout. No, I'm not going to say it. Is I know he's only been there for a bit, but Bruno Fernandes from Man United.
Yeah, I was going to give it a mention.
I feel like genuinely, since he's coming into that United side, he's just been the missing cog. I think his presence on the pitch is no coincidence to the form they've been in since he's come in. I think he really is a missing cog, and I think he's going to be not just playing wise, but he was a captain at Sporting Lisbon. He's come in, seems to be giving out some orders, and they look. And we watched the Burnley game, me and Dins did together. Bournemouth game, and they looked a joke.
Since when was the last time United scored 5 at home, by the way?
No, they're a joke. It was a joke, mate. Greenwood was out of this world.
He's the missing link. He's the missing link.
The thing that's exciting for them is they've got a lot of young players in that side. And I think maybe not next year, but potentially the year after, they could if they get signed the next few good players, they could be title contenders for them.
Where do you think they need a player, Dins?
They could do with a big centre-back. I've said this all along. I'm a big advocate of clubs in the Premier League do not spend enough money on centre-backs. You look at who the biggest two teams have been for me the last couple of years, Laporte For City, he transferred a good team into a great team. Van Dijk's transferred a good team to a great team again. You go sign a world-class defender for them, they'll be up there for me.
True. Very, very true. Probably the most exciting one, shall we say, is the strike. I mean, I've gone for another rogue shout. I'm not going. The ones I'm not player of the season, like strike-wise. I'm going for like the find of the season, really.
I reckon I've got the same as you. I reckon we could have 3 different people, but let's see.
So
Yeah.
I'll start. Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Oh, that is rogue. That is rogue. I didn't expect that to be the
Hear
conversation.
me out.
Give us a reason then, Paul.
Second highest scorer outside the top 6. Only Raul Jimenez. Only Raul Jimenez. And no, Danny Ings. Sorry, Danny Ings and Raul Jimenez have more goals than him. He's only young. First proper season, given a chance, starting every game in the Prem. I really feel like he could push on and be a 20-goal a season striker for the next few seasons to come.
Yeah, big fan of Ancelotti as well. I think
he's a real find. He looks hungry. Ever since, can't help me out, big Scottish bloke in charge of Everton. He's still
it's Ancelotti now.
Duncan Ferguson. Duncan Ferguson came in for that few games, he was against Chelsea. He was an animal, and I think he'll continue his form. Really do think he's a good find. And possibly,
Does he get in your England squad?
Yeah, I think he gets in the England squad.
I think he's a work in progress, personally.
I agree.
Dins, here's for yours. Striker of the season for you.
For me, well, it depends. Are we going forwards? Because I think Sadio Mane this year has just been another level, and it's not just for his on-the-ball stuff. Off the ball, he's just electric. He doesn't give you a second as a defender. Like, he's on you like nobody else is in the league. He's absolutely ridiculous off the ball. So for me, if you're putting wingers in there, it's got to be Mane.
I think, yeah.
I'm always a massive fan of Aguero. I think he's an unbelievable player. He's
not this year, though.
Yeah, he hasn't really reached the heights this year, so you can't really put him in there. And it's been quite a quiet year. I mean, Danny Ings has got to have a shout. He's been unbelievable again down the top.
Danny Ings, yeah, I think he's probably team of the season. Danny Ings for me.
Yeah, I think for me it's Mane. If we're allowing wingers in, that's quite stand out actually as well.
CD?
Leads on to my one. Yeah, I've gone Danny Ings. I think if he doesn't make the team of the year, it's absolute shambles. That guy has kept Southampton up by himself, and like we've been talking about him a lot actually. Last couple of weeks, he's always crept in the Southampton conversation, but he actually has been Southampton this year. He has. Without take away his goals, like we always say, goal scorer keeps you up in this division. So I've gone Danny Ings. I think it's nice to see a striker do well outside the top 6. So
definitely, it's refreshing, isn't it? Was he third top goal scorer behind Vardy and Aubameyang? I think. So,
Pooh, if you're the England manager, who are you taking, Calvert-Lewin or Danny Ings?
Right now, Danny Ings.
Yeah, you can't say no.
Yeah.
You're not going to get me with that, Dins. Another one who I'm just going to mention just before we move on to the games. Another winger is the absolute machine that is Adama Traore. I think he's got to get a mention this year. I think he has been ridiculous for Wolves.
I thought you were going to say Trezeguet for a second.
But I think another world-class one for me as well is Raul Jimenez for Wolves.
Yeah.
I mean, really kick on. If you're a big side looking for a striker, I think he's your man.
I think he's 30, or 29, which is your only thing. Yeah. But still, I enjoyed that conversation. Though it's nice going through players. We'll definitely do one at the end of the season, see where we get them locked in. Team of the season.
We'll get a vote.
We'll get a vote going.
You could do
we won't put it on our Facebook, so I probably only have 5 people vote. But it's worth going. Okay, first game we move on to, and it's a massive, massive game, biggest of the weekend. Watford Norwich. That wasn't sarcasm. If you hadn't looked at the
no. I know. It's a big game. No, it is a big game in context of the relegation battle. You know, you've got to remember that it's a league. You know, you got people going for the title and people down the bottom. But this game actually shapes massively for the relegation battle. If Norwich manage to win this game, the gap closes for them. I think the gap at the minute is 6 points, I believe. That closes to 3 points. And if Watford win, the gap between 18th Villa and Bournemouth increases between West Ham and them. So it is a massive game. I don't know about you, Dan, but what do you think about both of these teams at the minute?
I love the way Norwich play, and they kind of like live by their sword, and they're just trying to play football all season. But I really think they've kind of made the wrong decision towards the end of the season. I think they should have just knuckled down.
It gets to a point, doesn't it?
So, in my opinion, they're dead and buried. They do well to get another couple of wins under their belt for the rest of the season, which even then isn't enough. So, and I've gone for a Watford 2-1 victory here. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. If the team scores early, I think there's going to be quite a few goals going in, and could be quite a classic, really, actually, in terms of a good watch for the fans.
The neutrals. Yeah, it's, what are your thoughts if Watford win this? Do you think that that's it for the current bottom three, or do you think there's still hope?
Yeah, I think you've got to look at Bournemouth. They're really struggling at the moment, aren't they? Big time. And West Ham have turned the corner a bit. They've got some quality players in their side, especially getting Bowen in. He's a great player.
Yeah,
I guess we'll wait and see, won't we?
Yep, Seeley, so what you gone for this game, mate?
Yeah, I've got 1-0 Watford, but that's a good point then. Actually, I think Norwich actually plays some really good football, but like you said, it gets to a point where playing pretty football will get points is the end of the day is the most important thing. But I think Norwich are dead and buried, even though at times they don't look too bad. So I've got 1-0 Watford.
Yeah, I've gone for a 2-2. I think it'll be a draw game. If Norwich won, I'd absolutely love it. I would absolutely love it.
I would.
But my hopes aren't too high. A game which isn't looking to be as close is Manchester City versus Newcastle. Me saying that, City have just honestly, if you want something to sum up the Premier League, it's City beating the current champions 4-0 and then losing 1-0 to Southampton. That is literally the Premier League in a nutshell. It's a joke.
I think they've been getting a bit of stick actually. Phil Foden's tweet after they beat Liverpool saying congratulations to Liverpool win the league, but I think tonight we showed that we're ready for next year. The next game they lose 1-0 away to Southampton. Liverpool fans have been buzzing off that, absolutely buzzing. I think City at home. Obviously, like I said, City at home are an absolute powerhouse. But when they go away, they're just a completely different side. Like, I don't know what it like. A good side, a great side wins home and away, and City away from home being so inconsistent, it's ridiculous.
Dins, what are your thoughts? Me and Celia have had this chat before. What are your thoughts on him dropping Kevin De Bruyne for the Southampton game? Do you think
the Pep roulette has always been a thing, hasn't he? He loves rotating his players. He loves keeping everyone in like the kind of his pool of almost 23, 24 players, hasn't he, that he's got. I kind of understand it if he's rested in through this corona. You know, there's a serious backlog of fixtures they've got to play. And I can see both arguments for it. The league's over now, isn't it? So to rest him, it's probably a sensible thing in my opinion.
I do.
I don't think he cares. I don't think Pep cares about the league anymore. He beat Liverpool. I think that was his final league game that he cared about, getting that one up on Klopp. But now they've got an FA Cup semi-final, Champions League.
I do not. Yeah. I heard all of the players, the Man City players, coming out after this Liverpool game. Oh yeah, next season starts now. I genuinely believe they're here about it, and I think he wanted to go out and win every single game for the rest of the year and just say like, we're back, we're here. That's a shocking result for Man City.
They've got the best squad in the league, Man City, and I like the rotation. He seems to keep a lot of players happy by the rotation. They seem to buy into it, but it surely gets to a point where you need momentum, and by chopping and changing loads can actually harm a bit of momentum. Look, that side from the side that beat Liverpool was completely different to the side that started against Southampton.
But yeah, I understand. I understand changing players as well, but do you not think Kevin De Bruyne has got to be playing like 90% of games? Like, he has to be. Like, it's not. I understand rotating the Fodens, the Jesus and stuff. When you got the player of the season, the player of the Premier League in your team, surely he has to start. That's my opinion. I think there's a tad bit of arrogance
On a weekly basis, yeah. I think with this Corona thing, it's exceptional, isn't it? Because there are so many games in such a short space of time, and really his focus now is on the Champions League and all that stuff, isn't it? So I think he shifted focus a bit over there, and he's thinking sensibly. Which
can't be good for team morale though to go and lose 1-0. I just can't see it being positive.
True, yeah, bit of momentum.
Dins, what's your prediction gone for this?
I'm going to go City 4, Newcastle 1. They're going to want to bounce back after this game, and they're really going to give it some. I really like the look of Phil Foden. I think he's going to be world class. I do, and I hope the best for him because he seems like a really decent guy, knuckles down. So it's good.
CD.
I've gone for City 3, Newcastle 0. But I tell you what, shout out to Newcastle since the break. They put 4 past Bournemouth away. They put 3 past Sheffield United at home, and I mean they drew 2-2 at home to West Ham. But seems old Dinosaur Bruce has got out his defensive ways and seemed to get some goals in his favour.
Does, mate. So 3-0 City for you. I've gone for 2-0 City. All the clean sheet after just discussing all them Newcastle goals. Actually, we've all opted for a clean sheet for Man City. So we'll see what's Edison's got in his locker. Next game. Oh, this is a bad one. West Ham Burnley.
No,
Burnley.
I'll pick this one. Because this is another big game down the bottom. I think the title's done. I thought let's pick this game to talk about. West Ham, I think they've made me eat my words the last couple of weeks. So I came on absolutely slated them. Episode 4, I think I have absolutely slated them for about 10 minutes. But fair play to them. Boys, I think, like you said, Dan, I think they have got a good squad. What do you reckon about West Ham recently?
I think there's definitely an argument the wheels were off a couple of weeks ago, but you've got to look at the side and think, actually, you look at the players involved there, they've got some seriously good talent. It's a funny one with Felipe Anderson. They've almost fallen out of favour of him. It looks like he's going to be leaving at the end of the season.
I think that's
Jared Bowen, Jared Bowen for Hull, he was literally Hull's number 1 man for them, and he was a serious signing. I think he's a great, great player. He's going to go on to big things. Michael Antonio as well. I mean, he's a decent Premier League striker, isn't he? And
I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he has been the difference. He's a fucking pain in the arse. You can just see it when he's playing. You just wouldn't try to mark him. He's big, he's strong, he's quick, and he likes to shoot early.
Yeah, and you look at like Declan Rice and all that.
What did you say? Sorry?
Declan Rice, and you go to the depth of the defence as well. There's a lot of Premier League players. When you look at their people next to them in the league, like your teams of Watford and Bournemouth, there's a lot of players there. You think, are they really good enough for the Prem?
I think that
they love Declan Rice, don't they, West Ham fans? So I think
the captain
he's good at what he does. He's good at what he does, but he doesn't shine out in a football game for me. But I suppose that's his role. He's in front of the back four. It's quite boring. It's not the prettiest.
He made a career of it, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So, but he's a massive asset to West Ham. If they can stay up, I can't see Declan Rice being at West Ham for long, but if they can stay up and sell him for what the rumours are, like the West Ham fans are talking like 50 mil plus, and then just reinvest, that's probably what they need to do. But staying up's their one priority. Yeah.
Work from there.
So you do prediction? Yeah. Cheers, Dins. I'll go first. 2-1 West Ham. I've gone. Dins, do you want to ask Seeley?
Go on, Seeley.
I've gone 1-1. I've gone 1-1.
I cannot see Burnley conceding, as they've been so good. I really am a big fan of their defence, and I think it's going to be boring.
Gone what, sorry?
Boring 0-0 for me.
Shocking.
Hang on, you're the bloke that said Liverpool Villa was going to be 0-0.
And what a good shout that was,
for 60 minutes.
Mate, you got. I was thinking this could be the shout of the century.
Shout of the century.
But never mind. Next game, Bournemouth versus Spurs. Spurs current game right now against Everton. I believe it's 1-0. The Southside goal.
Yeah. Again, the 5 games that we predicted are heavily relegation. We'll talk in detail. Heavily relegated focus. So. Like we mentioned before, Bournemouth have been awful since the restart. I mean, they're shipping in. How many goals they shipped in since the restart? They shipped in 4 at home to Newcastle. That's Newcastle United. I mean, who don't really tend to score as many goals. Then they've shipped 5 away at United. They haven't. I don't think they've picked up a point since the restart.
No, they haven't.
So
They've been awful.
They're slumped, and there's been a lot of stick towards Eddie Howe. I think a bit undeservedly. I think he's got Bournemouth on the map. If you told me who Bournemouth were 10 years ago, or the majority of this population where Bournemouth were placed in the Football League, they would have probably not been able to tell you. So he deserves a lot of credit.
On this level, or do you think he could kick on?
Who, Eddie Howe?
I think.
Yeah.
Go on,
I was a massive advocate, to be fair, before all this happened. I thought he deserved a move to a bigger club than Bournemouth, no disrespect. But after all this, apparently he's had quite a big fallout within Bournemouth. The Ryan Fraser situation was really weird. Really weird. I thought, if you're a good manager, you get him penning a 1 month, 2 month contract, and you want to play for your manager in the club. For someone that's been there for quite a while, not to pen that deal, it sounded a bit fishy to me. But
it's worrying, isn't it?
And Spurs have they've been a bit on and off, really, haven't they? I mean, we were going to talk about it earlier, but Mourinho there, we've mentioned it before. I just think that's an accident waiting to happen, really. I
disagree.
Really?
I think with Mourinho, he's come in. He's a bit of a steady burner this time. He usually comes in with a bang, to be fair to him. But I think he's the right man. I think they're a bit of a sleeping giant at the moment. I'm saying again, I hope he's going to work on the defence. He always strengthens the defence to clubs he goes to. And if he can, over the summer, snatch up a big centre-back, like I talked about, they change teams. Van Dijk, Laporte, they turn a good team into a great team. If you can do that there, I think they've got enough attacking talent that they can, start nurturing in some of their Ndombele's, Lo Celso's and all that, and get a good starting 11. That could be a serious side.
No, God, I totally agree. They've got potential. My issue would be there, Dins, would be not getting European football this year.
Yeah, it's a big problem, isn't it?
Centre back, are you going to be able to track? Really?
They've just got a new stadium. I've heard if you've got a new stadium and you're not getting the revenue from the fans, Daniel Levy's the tightest person. Everyone knows that. Surely they've got no money. Surely.
Yeah, you're probably right there, but they've got a lot of talent that could ship them off, really.
So is that Harry Kane?
You can't lose Kane. You can't.
Do you shift Kane?
They're done. They're done. If Kane goes, they're done.
I agree, but I can see Levy just shifted off Kane for some cash. I really can.
Could as well. Talking to that, Dins, score prediction.
I'm going to go 3-0 Spurs, mate. I think it's their time to shine. And Bournemouth, I mean, we've spoken about them enough. They are in turmoil, aren't they? They're in some serious trouble.
I've also gone 3-0 Spurs. Seeley?
I've gone for a 90th minute Spurs winner, 1-0.
That's
a big call.
Any names? Who's going to get that winner? Any tips?
Kane. It's got to be in it.
Kane. Okay, cool. Last but not least, Aston Villa, the beloved club, versus Manchester United. The team really in form. In all honesty, I thought we had more chance of beating Liverpool, but the game just gone, then we have got to beat United. I think we're going to get pumped, to be honest. Dins, you're an avid Blues fan, so I'll give you a chance to get your Gnashers into Aston Villa.
Yeah, I think, Villa have been struggling, as we all know. I'll try and be fair about it. Villa have been struggling. They just haven't got the squad depth, have they? I mean, this 5 substitution thing's not helped them in any way, shape or form. And United are looking dangerous as ever. I think as a young United striker right now, you're going to be working your socks off to get into that side and try and, cement your place. So I think they're going to run riot on the next couple of days. I've gone 4-0 United.
4-0 United. Seeley, can you see Jadon Sancho getting into this Man United front three, agreeing with Martial, Rashford?
Well, unless Ole Gunnar Solskjaer adopts a bit of a rotation, rotation like Pep Guardiola, but how do you keep Martial, Greenwood, Rashford, and Sancho happy, that you've got to rotate, haven't you? So there's no point bringing Sancho and then just ditching Greenwood. I mean, Greenwood's absolutely exceptional against
Greenwood's a
Bournemouth.
joke. He's so...
Yeah, world-class player. World-class.
So do they need Sancho? Do they need him?
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
If they're going to be playing... Go on, you go.
Okay, no. My thing is that one out of your three strikers are probably going to be injured 50% of the time. I genuinely think that, or not be 100% fit. Like, if you're going starting Martial, Rashford and Greenwood, I reckon one of them's injured 50% of the time. And you can't...
But why don't they just sign a backup striker?
Who?
Well, they have a Gala, don't they? But they could probably spend 15 million elsewhere. Just take a punt abroad, in my opinion.
Yeah, or potentially you could play Rashford up front if he's not fit. It's like,
or
Greenwood.
Just invest in their defence.
I think if Sancho's available, then get him because he's a good player. Honestly, he's very.
But mate, we're talking 80, 90 million pounds. Why don't they just get a centre half for half that price who's going to win the league?
However, you could also try and play all four of them and play Foden centre, attacking mid. You know, the way they've kind of nurtured like someone like Foden in. You could play Sancho centre attacking mid and try and develop him there. It's an interesting one, it really is.
What, and then where's Fernandes play?
He'd play centre mid with Pogba, mate. It'd be an attacking side, but if you can sort your defence out and go like that, it'd be serious.
I think he'd be one of the 4 or 5 with Daniel James in there as a rotation for the front three.
He's going at the end of the season, isn't he, James? I reckon.
Is he gone?
Yeah.
Villa. Go on, Tilly.
Yeah, I just touched about the Villa game yesterday. I mean, I could be biased in this sense, but I actually thought the first 60 minutes of that game yesterday, we looked like scoring more than Liverpool. I thought Liverpool didn't read the cast, let's be perfectly honest. But if Villa had any other team, I am adamant, any other team in that league, in the Premier League, even Norwich, would have scored against Liverpool.
You're probably right.
And that's a problem. And I think that's why Villa are going down. I can't see them score. I can't see where the goals are coming from, and that Liverpool there for the taking, in my opinion. They were there for the taking.
You've got to, I mean, I love Keenan Davis, I really do, but you can't stick somebody who's not scored a Premier League goal up front for your last 5 games of this season. I think
his last goal was 2 years ago.
You just can't. I'm sorry, you can be as good as holding the ball up as you want, but if you haven't scored a goal in that long, now's not the time to risk it. You've got to stick someone in there. I know he's not great, but he's definitely got more of a goal in him than Keenan Davis has, and we're crying out for goals.
Do you think if you had someone like Ings or Jimenez, you'd have stayed at this year?
I think anyone would. I think any of the bottom 3 would.
I just think every time Grealish gets the ball, I don't think anyone's on his wavelength. And if he had a centre forward that was a bit clever, moved a bit more, or knew where the goal was, his stats would boost up and Villa would be 5, 6, 7 points better off. That's a minimum. And that gets you. That gets you paid.
Personally, bit of a Blues fan's perspective, I think Grealish is a great player. He's obviously very technically good. I don't really like the way your team's almost gone to a one-trick pony place, and it's not a well-oiled team anymore, is it? He never really.
It's not positive to rely heavily on that one player.
He's helping the other guys out, and it's not a good way to be. Like, you've got to be a well-oiled team to get anywhere really nowadays.
Totally agree. In the Premier League, you can just double up on one player. You can just double up. It's so easy.
Yeah. Would it be the worst thing in the world if he went for huge money? I think you've got to really rebuild and get a team ethos back in the game.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to the predictions because we're running out of time. Dins?
I've gone United 4-0.
I've gone United 3-0.
I think it's going to be another draw, 1-1.
Cool, you heard it here first. United Villa draw. I'll put mine and CD's 5-fold Ackers on screen now. Let us know if you backed one. I know CD got a bit of a winner this weekend, not on the podcast, but on his own little personal bet. So good form. Dins,
you got to pay extra for that, £5 VIP.
Run us through your results, the next 5, Dins, really quickly.
Last 5. Palace Chelsea. I've got 1-0 away win for Chelsea. Arsenal-Leicester 2-2. I think that'll be a great game.
Yeah.
Sheffield United-Wolves. I've gone 1-0 for Wolves away. I'll go for a late Wolves goal, actually. They seem to do well towards the end of the game. Brighton-Liverpool, 2-0 Liverpool, as if they're off the pace, but I think they've got enough quality there.
Yeah.
And Everton v the Saints, 2-0, 2-2, another good game, actually.
Well, I'll stick Dins's results, all 10 results on screen now. And then I'll stick mine and CD's tenfolds on now as well. Last week we had Harry Seymour on as a guest. He is currently on 8 points with this Spurs Everton game playing now. He's gone for a 1-1. If he manages to get the correct result or the correct score, he will go top. But he went for a 1-1. Spurs currently win. It's not looking likely. Dins, 10 points. Do you reckon you got that in the bag? You get 2 points.
Oh, confidence, mate. Lots of confidence here.
You get 2 points for.
You've had a hard game week. This is a hard game week. I think that last game week was quite nice. But this is hard. I think you top it here. You would have done very well.
And someone's got to be in it to win it, mate. You've got to be in it to
win. Confidence, mate.
We'll see it. Well, Celia, I don't know if you want to send us off or you got anything else to say?
No. Thanks for watching, Dan. Thanks for coming on as well. Some good insightful knowledge. Yeah, so thanks for coming and thanks for watching, guys, as well. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Over and out.